my recording. Guys, you can please mute. And one more thing, guys, the person who want to continue, because I have already taken 4 classes, so please do the payment. I have already shared the detail. If you want to continue the class, right? So I have already shared the account detail, so you can do the payment. Okay, after then I can share you all the documents with you, like what are the API documents, right? The person who has already completed his payment, I will share the related document which are required. Okay, so please because it's already 4 days over, 4 classes is all over, so I would requesting you, please do the payment, right? And give me a few more minutes. Uh, Give me a few more minutes. In the meanwhile, okay. So I have shared my screen. I am started my recording. Guys, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, Vikas.
Okay, fine, fine. Now, so very first thing I want to say, you go to the Google Chrome, go to the Google Chrome and type here Postman tool, Postman download, right? So click on the Postman, right? Click on the Postman link, right? And you will get the Postman, the application here. Download the app. So if you click on the download the app with the version 8.8.0, if you can click on that, so you can see Windows 32 and Windows 64. So based on your OS, right, you have to download that particular app. Okay, and there is one more thing. If you want to don't want to open the application, you can try the web version. Okay, and one more thing, guys, let me provide you this link. So the things which are providing you in during the class, right, please save that thing in any document, so that you have the reference, right? When you are you format your screen, you format your machine, and you want to learn the things from the basic, right? So keep all the things in one folder inside one document, right? What are the links, what are the URL I am providing you, try to save somewhere. Okay, and related to the API document I will provide you today. Okay, okay. Now I think some of the person has downloaded the Postman. So you can click on the 64-bit if you're having the 64-bit. Otherwise, you can click on the 32-bit, right? And one more thing, guys. One more thing. If you go to the setting part here, 3 dotted of the Chrome browser, right? So Postman is also extension of Chrome browser. The Postman is also the extension of Chrome browser, right? So if you don't want to use the app of the Postman, you want to use the extension of Postman, right? So what you have to do, you have to go to the open the Chrome browser, go to the setting, right? Here you can somewhere you can see extension here, extension, click on the extension, right? You, if you can't see the Postman here, right, in the search result, then you can type the Postman here in the search box, right? So you here, if you are doing first time, so it will show add the extension, something like that, it will show here. Okay, in my case it is already there, so that's why it's showing delete or remove. Right. So you have the 3 options to use the Postman. The first option is try to use download the app, right? And if you want to open in the web browser, then you can open this one, try the web version, right? And the third one is if you want to use the Chrome extension, right? So you can use the Chrome extension, go to the setting and use. So guys, please do this thing as a priority, right? Please do this thing as a priority. Okay, now then you have the question, then which one I have to use as a recommended, right? So I would request you try to use the Postman app. Try to use the Postman app. Okay, now give me a second, let me call to the person who has not joined last time. Let me call to the person, because I have to filter out the group. Actually, there are a lot of person uh, who has joined in the demo classes, but who has already done the payment, that they can continue. So I will, today I will remove the person who don't want to continue. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah. So in yesterday class, we were discussing about what topics, the types of these services, and we gone through the high levels of the SOAP services, not in detail, right? But when we discuss the RESTful web services, then we will also go through the SOAP web services, right? So yeah, so we discuss about the architect level of the RESTful web services, right? So while designing the RESTful web services, we have to follow some designing. The developer has follow some principle, right? The developer has follow some constraint, right? So these all are the layer: the uniform interface, statelet, cacheable, layer system, and the codon, right? In which I have discussed the uniform interface. So when you are open the Make My Trip or any site, I'm not asking only Make My Trip, I'm asking any site, you can take it, right? So if the interviewer give you, if the interviewer will provide you this link and asking to you that could you please identify the element, let me open my notepad. Yeah, so the interviewer providing you this URL, then could you please identify this URL, differentiate the component, then could you please guide me what are the components here in this URL, which I have already explained you in yesterday classes. Okay, so please guide me. Now
HTTPS
guys,
is a
tell me,
protocol.
what is the HTTPS? Okay, go ahead.
Protocol. Protocol.
Protocol. Okay. Okay, next.
Double slash that the link up to first slash.
Okay, double slash up to the first slash. Okay, that is known as a
Base URL. Base URL.
base URL. Okay, right, correct. And
Host is equal to protocol plus base URL.
host URL is equal to protocol plus base URL. Exactly right. Now
After
tell
the
me the
first
other thing.
slash. After the first slash, it is
Okay,
resources.
after the first
First
slash
slash
up to
up
where?
to question mark.
Okay, so resource is also clear. Okay, after the first slash, right?
Yes. Then after
After
question
question mark,
mark,
right?
it is
Af-
a query
this one is
parameter.
the
Query parameter.
query param. Okay, query param. Okay, query param. Clear? Now, if the interviewer will provide you any of the URL, I think you can easily give the answer, right? So the same thing here. Same thing
Thus,
here.
thus
Yeah, go
what
ahead,
is
sir.
itinerary? What is itinerary means?
Itinerary, internally the developer, the designing team developer has defined one key. This is known as a key actually. This is the key. Where it is? Yeah, this is the itinerary means key. What key they are using? The key is Bank of Mumbai, Delhi, and the date. So it is not a concern because this thing is coming from the backend actually. So if you want to understand, then this is the key and this is the value. Okay. So if you go here, right? So this is the key. The itinerary is the key and the key value is this search result, search parameter. Okay, this is the simple key and you have the question that where this key is coming out, right? So this key is coming through your backend, right? Which developer has set it, which the designing team, which development team has set for this particular search. Okay, so this is which we can't say exactly. This is decided by the developer which things they want to pass it here as a key. Okay, when I saw this thing in the Postman, then you have much more clarification. 100% will get clear. Okay, what did you mean by this query parameter? What is key and value? Right now, only understand this is key and value. When I explain you the web service, the RESTful web service in the Postman, then you have very much clear picture what I am trying to say at that time. Okay, now so guys, the uniform interface is clear. What are the components we are using? Resource URL, HTTP base URL, right? And this thing, the remaining layer, the statelet cacheable layer system and the codon. Right now, I'm not going to explain you this because this is the theoretical section. When I explain the REST service, you will explain me that what it mean by. You will automatically you will get understand that what is the meaning of this layer. Okay, if I explain you right now, you are not able to understand it will because you don't know the whole concept of the REST services. When you know the whole concept, then I will explain you, you will easily grab the things. Okay, so please leave this thing as of now. Okay, so as an example, let's suppose this is your example I have taken. So I think you can easily differentiate the thing. This is the protocol, base URL, resource, the query parameter, and the host URL, right? And what is the www, triple W is about the communication between the client and the server. Okay, and we are using the HTTP, right? HTTP is the request and the response, right? So what happened when using the HTTP, we are connecting, it is as a protocol, and protocols that helping to client and server to establish the connection, right? So when we are sending the request, the HTTP is required to connect with the server. When we are getting from the response, when we are getting the response from the server, then we also require the HTTP. So we have two types of HTTP, right? HTTP request, when we are sending the request to the server, when we are getting the request, when we are getting the response from the server, that is HTTP response. Okay, when we are sending the request to the server, that is HTTP request, right? When we are getting the response from the server, that is HTTP response. Okay, so you can see here the communication between client and server is done by the HTTP request and HTTP response. Okay, so you can see a client send HTTP request to the web, right? A web service receive the request, then the server run application to proceed the request, which I have already told you, right? And the server return an HTTP response as an output to the browser. The client receive the response, right? So when you are sending this is your request, the Mumbai, Delhi and the department and the return, right? When you are sending, clicking on the search, this goes along with the HTTPS, right? So this HTTP, this protocol connect with the server and go to the server, find the request, find the resource, and then it will proceed the that particular request, then it will return the output along with the HTTPS response. Okay, so when you when I'm hitting the search, can you see it? The HTTPS is always there. When we are sending the request, it is always there. When we are getting the response, it is always there. So this HTTP is along with the request and after the response also. Okay, when I explain this thing in the Postman as a RESTful web services, then you can easily understand. So in your mind, you have the question, that this course is regarding the web services, the RESTful web services. Then why you are teaching me the UI section? Why you are teaching me the UI section? Guys, everything is related to each other. And I will explain you how these things are related to each other. If you understand the UI stuff, how the things are happening in the UI, then it will be very easy to understand the RESTful web services. Okay, that's why I will always try to map the UI and the services, the RESTful web services, both the things. If we are doing this particular action in the web services, then what things will happen in the UI, right? So I will always try to explain the things by mapping UI and the web services. Okay, that is RESTful web services. Now I told you what are the tools available in the market, right? So if you do the web service testing, that is a SOAP service, and that is the REST service, and the REST service is 70 to 80% it is used by the IT company, because it is easy to implement, it easy to architect, it is easy to test the application, easy to understand. Actually it is more user friendly to the client, right? So 70 to 80%, even more than that, the companies are using guys, you can mute. The companies are using the RESTful web services. RESTful web services. I have also not explained you how the web service company making the money. This thing is also pending. So I will explain this thing later on. Okay. So I believe on the practically more. The theoretical, okay, I will explain you. But when we explain all the practical section, then I explain you the theoretical, you will easily understand. If I explain the theoretical and then practical, then it is, it's not beneficiary that much, right? So first we will understand the practical section. Okay. Now, in the market, you have to also know what are the tools available for the API testing, for the web service testing, for the RESTful service testing, for the SOAP service testing. Okay, so very famous tool is the Postman, which is more frequently used in the market by the developer, by the testing, by the client, right? Which is more user friendly tool. The Postman is more user friendly, right? And the second tool which is used by the company is the REST Assured to do the API testing. REST Assured. And one more thing, if you are using the Postman, in the Postman you can do the manual testing, you can do the automation testing as well using the JavaScript. Most of the company now started using the Postman for the automation testing. Okay, so for that you have to learn the JavaScript. Scripting language is JavaScript, right? Which you have to learn if you are using the Postman tool. So don't worry, I will guide you how you can write the script. Okay, now the second tool is REST Assure. So REST Assure is one of the also famous tool which is used by the market. If you are learning the REST Assure, then you have to very good in the coding also, right? And this tool is also used in the market. Now the third famous tool is the SOAP UI. In SOAP UI you can also use the manual testing, automation testing, and the performance testing, right? So but that is not much famous in the market, right, as compared to the Postman and the REST Assured. Okay, so if you are using the Postman, you have to know the Groovy script to do the automation testing. Guys, please write it down somewhere, right? Because sometimes interviewer asks you, you are aware about the market or not, what are the tools available in the market. I know the requirement is for the Postman or REST Assured, but sometimes they will ask you, you are aware about the market or not. So you have to know all the things at least. Okay, so if you are using the Postman, you have to know the JavaScript. If you are using the SOAP UI, then you have to know the Groovy script, right, to do the automation testing in the Postman. If you are using the REST Assure, then if you are using the REST Assure, then it is you can use either Java, either C#, right? It's up to the requirement, right? Now if you are using the Apache JMeter, you can see the JMeter is the performance testing tool. You can also do the functional testing, but it is famous for the performance testing tool, right? You can also do the REST API testing here, right? But it is not recommended to do the functional testing. It is recommended to do the performance testing. It is very popular tool to do the performance testing, right? And if you talk about the third tool is the Cypress. Cypress is that I have not mentioned here. You can write it down. Cypress is one of the also good tool to do the API testing. Tosca. Tosca is one of the also good tool. Tosca, right? And APG. Currently in my project, the APG they are using. APG, right? APG is also one tool using you can do the API testing. Now the Catalon is the one of the tool using that you can do the API testing, right? Assertival, this tool are Catalon, Assertival, Karate, and Transcentis, right? These are not famous tool, and in the market there are less resource are available who is working on this tool. The more resources are available in the market is Postman, REST Assure, JMeter, and the SOAP UI, right? And the you will also get Tosca and Cypress, but not in the bulk amount. Like if any of the company is searching the Tosca resource or Cypress resource, then number of candidate is very less in the market. Okay, So guys, this thing is beneficiary for you or not, because you have to know what tools are available in the market. Agree? Because only
Yes.
know the concept of APIs is not beneficiary, right? You have to know all the things. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Nothing. Nothing. Sorry.
Okay. And one more thing, if you have one question in your mind that I am learning, this course is regarding the API testing, API manual and the automation testing using the Postman tool. So, okay, right now you are working the Postman tool in your project. Let's suppose in future, after 1 or 2 months, your project gets changed and your project is now SOAP UI or APG, right? So you have to take another course for that. You have to again learn all the things. No, guys, no, no, no. You can't do this type of stuff. Okay, if you learn any of the tool, either Postman, either SOAP UI, either REST Assure, either JMeter, either APG, right? 60%, 60%, even more than that, 60% are similar if you using another tool. 60% concept is same, right? You have to know the 30%, 40%, you have to know about that particular tool, how the things are different, how the we are passing the parameter URL and the header authorization. You have to know about that tool. Actually, I will explain you when we complete few of the topics, then I will show you. I have worked on these 5 tools: SOAP UI, Postman, APG, JMeter, and the REST issue. I have worked on the 5 tool, right, in my experience, right? So I will show you when I complete some of the part, like 50% of the syllabus. Then I will show you how the things are similar in the SOAP UI, in the REST issue, in JMeter as well. Right, then you can assume the things. Why I'm asking you that 60% is similar, right? So you don't have to worry if your project gets changed, if because so guys, one thing you are agree or not, in the IT sector, our project, our domain, our technology is not fixed, right? It depends on the market, project to project. Even from last 3 years, you are working on the banking application, you are working on the Selenium Java. In the next year, your project gets changed, even in 1 month, even in the 6th month, right? Agree?
Yes, Vikas, you're true.
So why we not do the some smart work, right? So that your project will get changed if you aware about the other tool, right? So you can easily do the testing. When, let's suppose right now you are working on the
Yes,
Postman
Nara.
tool, right?
Okay, Nara, I'm coming.
Guys, you can do. Let's suppose right now you are working in the Postman and your manager are asking you that our project gets changed and you have to work on the SOAP UI, right? Then you will scared, like, I have not worked on the SOAP UI, how I can do that? Then you are directly saying to your manager, sir, I can't do that, I have never worked on the SOAP UI tool. You decline that project, then you are come to the bench, right? Then your manager will think that he can't do and he declined the work, then why I have to take him in my project? Then put you in the bench, right? I don't need that particular person, he is not interested, right? So that type of work you don't have to do. You have to confidently say, yes, I have worked on the Postman tool, I have the knowledge of the Postman tool, as I know the 60 to 70%, right? The things are very similar in the other tool also. If you use SOAP UI, Catalan or APZ or JMeter, right? So you can't understand the thing. At least you are able to understand if your project gets changed, if your tool gets changed. I am giving the guarantee. I am giving the guarantee you
Because
will
this
able
is
to
Uma
understand.
here.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
So are we, no, Uma, are we having some sort of framework then for all of these together?
No, we don't have the single common framework for all together, because this all are the different tool. Depends on the market. They are, depends on the project to project they are using, right? Based,
But they are, each is different, and there is no common framework for all of these, right?
No, there is not any common. But if you understand the one, if you understand any language, Java, C Sharp or PHP, then everyone is asking that all are same. Only syntax is different, right? The same concept is here. If you understand the one designing, then things are very much similar.
Okay.
Things are
So
similar.
are we going to do Postman demo today, or how is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the part of the course actually. Okay, so that is regarding the market. I have explained you, right? These things are going in the market now. Now, in the web service, guys, in the web service, we have two types of the web service: SOAP and the RESTful web services, right? So some of the person in companies also asking the REST API and SOAP API, and some of the person is also asking SOAP service and REST service, right? So they are using services and the API. So let's clear about this doubt. What is the differentiation? Guys, you can mute. Okay. So API means application programming interface. Application programming interface. So both, either it is API, give me a second. Either it is API or web service, right? Both having the same work. Both having the same work. What is the same work? To make the communication. Make the communication between the two device, two application, between the two application. The common thing, both work is same, to make the communication between the two application, right? Either it is API, either it is either it is web service. Now let's try to understand the API. What did you mean by the API? Okay, here you can see API stands for application programming interface, and it is a mechanism that allow you the communication between the two application or component or computer or hardware using some set of rules and the protocol, right? So please read this line carefully. The communication between two application, component or computer or hardware using set of rules and the protocol, that is the API, right? Generally we have four types of web-based application, computer operating system, database system, computer hardware and software library, right? So let's discuss one by one. Web-based application. So web-based application means the API, the API which implemented with web server over the HTTP and HTTP protocol. The API which implemented over the web server using the HTTP and HTTPS protocol. You can see the Make My Trip, Flipkart, Amazon, or any application, they are available over the internet, over the web, over the these all applications are available over the web. And what protocol they are using? HTTP protocol. So that is the web based application. If you are using that application over the web, over the internet, and they are using the HTTP protocol, then it is known as a web-based application. Okay, if I take any application, if you take your project application, that is web-based application, because they are using the protocol as a HTTP and available over the web. Okay, now the second point is that is also a API. That is also a API. So you can see we are using the Make My Trip, right? If you inspect this element and click on let's suppose I'm clicking on, go to the network section, you can see the API is here. When your call get completed, here you can see this is your API which connecting with your server. This is your API URL. Which connecting with your server. Okay, similarly, based on the action, we have the separate API. Okay, that is web-based application, web-based API. Clear? Now, second one, computer operating system. So, guys, tell me, we are using laptop or desktop, right? How the OS, the computer OS connecting with your machine, connecting with your hardware, or how mouse connecting with your desktop. If you are scrolling the mouse, how cursor is moving. So there is also the connection, establishing the connection. There is also communication is happening internally, right? That is known as a COM API, Component Object Model API. Component Object Model. We are using the laptop, any electronics device, right? Internally, they are connecting, they are communicating each other, right? So that's why they are giving the output. So guys, tell me, if your OS is not installed in your machine, can you do the without OS? Can you use your laptop or desktop? No. So OS is establishing the connection with your machine, right? So there is also communication is happening. If I not use the mouse, can you do the action on your desktop? If you can't use the scroll bar like on your laptop, the scroll section, can you do the action? No, right? So everything is related to each other. Every device, making the communication, that is known as a component object model. Component object model, right? Then you have the question that we are going to also discuss means in detail computer operating system? No, because in the testing field we are not, in the software testing we are not using this thing. In even the web, in web service we are learning, right? So we will discuss web based application. Okay, So database system. So how the database system is operating? Internally, database is also connecting with some other, right? Internally, the communication is happening. So they are also using the API, right, to establish the connection, right? The computer hardware, I already told you the in this section, right? So they are also making the communication where we are, two application establishing the connection, that is the API. Software library. So let's suppose we are using Selenium to do the automation testing. So what we are using, we are exporting the Selenium jar in our machine, right? In our Eclipse or IntelliJ, we are installing the Selenium, right? Or any jar file, or any application, jar file application, or any extension which establishing the communication, right? Any software library, right? That is the API. That is the API, right? So can I say the web service is API or not? Based on this explanation, can you tell me web service is API or not?
Because what I understand, web services are alternate to API.
Okay, let me explain you one more section. After that, you can give me the answer. So this is all about the API, right? Now, what is the differentiation, the web service and the API? So if you are using the web service, then I told you either it is API or either it is web service. Both functionalities is communication between two applications, right? Now in the case of web service, we are only using the HTTP protocol. That particular API is the web service. Not all. The computer operating system, database system, computer hardware, and software library. The service which are using the protocol as a HTTP, that service is only web service, right? And you can see it is available over the network. So can you see, you can see it here, the Make My Trip, Flipkart, or any application, it is available over the internet, available over the network, and they are using the protocol as a HTTP, right? So that is a web service. Now guys, web service is API wrapped in HTTP, right? So web service needs a network. However, API does not need a network, right? You can see it here. If it is web-based application, then it is required the network. If it is computer system, guys, tell me, mouse connect with the desktop, or when you connect OS connecting with your machine, are they are using the HTTP protocol? They are using the network.
No.
If I am doing any action in my machine, by I'm scrolling the mouse, can I'm using the network or internet here? No, right? So API does not need a network. Okay, all web services are API. Can I say like that? All web services are API, but all APIs are not web service. Clear, guys? If you are not able to understand, then I will again repeat the thing.
This is not clear.
But do not get confused regarding the web service and the API.
How all web services are API?
I told you that if it is web service, then the communication is happening between the two applications over the network, and usually they are using HTTP and HTTPS, right? And you can see if you are using the API, if you are discussed the API, so this is the web-based application, this is web service, right? So can I say the all web service is API? API is having four things: web-based, computer, database, computer hardware, and software library, and other also. But I have mentioned only 5 important, right? And web service is comes under the web-based application. So can I say the web service is an API?
Yes.
Right. So now tell me, is computer system or database system is software library, they are using the HTTP or HTTPS? No. So all APIs are not web service, right? Only web-based application is web service, right?
Correct.
Correct. So you can see it here. Either it is computer, either it is mobile, either it is any application. They are connecting with the server or anything, right? That is called as a API. That is called as a API. But if you talk about web service, then we need the internet or the protocol as a HTTP. You can see it here. Okay. Now
Yeah. Can you explain API diagram again, please?
here you can see this is your computer, and computer connecting with the any device like mouse or the OS, right? And mobile is connecting with the anything or any application connecting with the anything, right? So it uses the API to connect with that particular application. The API is the medium. Let's suppose we are using mouse and desktop, right? So how these things are connecting to each other using the component object model API, component object model API, COM API, right? Where the two application connect with each other and communicate with each other, right? That is the API. Either it is web-based application, either it is computer operating system, either it is database, either it is computer, or either it is software libraries, right? And but in the case of web service, you can see the client and the server and the internet. You can see it here, internet and the protocol. And here you can't see the internet. Yes, it required internet, but in the case of web-based application.
Okay. Yeah, there's also mentioned like API request response.
Because this thing is confusing, because when anything communicate with each other, like I'm scrolling, I'm clicking on my mouse button, right clicking, right? It's sending to the command to computer, right? That the user has click on right or left click. So this is my request, right? And computer understand that thing and doing the action. If I click on the right click, it will open the pop-up. If I clicking on the left click, then simple click on the any element, right? So I am sending the request, right? And the computer is sending the response to you that that particular user doing this action. Okay, that's the things here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and we have this diagram, like some of the person has. I was also not I if you ask me, I don't want to explain this thing today. Actually, after a couple of class, I want to explain this thing, right? If I come, you know, some of the we understand some of the API concept. After then, if I explain this thing again, then you will much clarification about this topic. You can understand this thing, but multiple question has coming out that what is the difference between web service and the API and the app server and the web server. Then I thought it's better to explain you. Okay, but if I explain after few of the topics, then I explain that particular thing, you can easily understand that thing. Okay, but anyway, I have explained all the things and I believe you are able to understand. Okay, now this diagram, but this diagram I will not explain you right now. Okay, this diagram I will explain you internally how the server is, you know, communicating, right? So this diagram I will explain you later on after some of the class. Okay, now guys, now, so guys, one thing I want to request you, if you have not done the payment, please do the
Vikas?
payment from your side. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, we have certain things called XML and JSON also, apart from the HTTP protocol, right? So these are also
Okay.
part of the same web services, right?
I think
Though
if
they
you
are
have
not-
attended the earlier classes, then in that class I have explained you what is the XML and the JSON. It is the format, right?
Okay.
When we are establishing the communication, we have to pass some format. The request we are passing in the particular format, and the format should be in the XML, either JSON, either text.
Yeah, but
Okay,
the
so
protocol remains
don't
the
worry,
same.
I will explain you that thing. Sorry, come again.
But the protocol remains the same, HTTP only, but the format
Yeah,
changes.
protocol should be HTTP. Protocol
Okay,
should be
thank you.
HTTP. So guys, please do the payment if you want to continue. Otherwise, I have to, you know, because multiple person, there are 72 persons. So today I will filter out the person who don't want to continue. Okay. And Uma, I have messaged you multiple times. You did not responding on my message. So please look at the message.
I will do that. I was busy yesterday and day before. I did not attend the class, so I will do that today.
Okay. So guys, now you guys have installed the Postman. I will close the things, all the things here. Close all the things, right? And this is the UI of the Postman. When you click on the Postman app, you will see the Postman UI, right? You have to click on my workspace, right? And you will see this UI. Okay, and we will use this app, we will use this application to connect with the server, okay. So you can see it here, if you are using the REST API or REST web service. So do not get confused, guys. Sometime I will also ask REST API. Sometime I will also ask REST web service, REST service. So do not get confused. Okay. Now, if you are using the REST API, then we are using the 5 method. majorly 99% in the IT sector, if you are using the REST API, they are using the post method, get method, put method, patch method, and the delete method. So I think time is already over. So in tomorrow class, I will suppose you are in the new project. You don't know the single term of the API. You don't know the single term of API. So I will consider you that all are the fresher in the API testing, right? You are new in the project, right? So yesterday I will explain you the requirement, not this one. Where it is, REST API real time project. Give me a second. Yeah. So this is the requirement. Let's suppose you are very new in the project. How the requirements are coming from the client side and how we are mapping our requirement into the postman. So in tomorrow class, we will discuss the requirement, how the requirements is coming from the BA person, from your client, and how we are mapping the requirement in the postman. Okay, so in that class, in that particular class, we will discuss all the method. You can see it here, the get method, post method, put method, patch method, delete method, all the method we will discuss. So guys, please do not miss any of the class. All the classes are very important. In tomorrow class, we will discuss about the requirements, how the requirements is coming and how we can map. Okay. So thank you guys. Time is already over today. If you have any query, then let me know.
Vikash, will you be sharing the document with us today for API?
Yeah, today I will share with you.
Okay.
I will share with you personally. I will share with you. No problem.
Okay, Vikash. Thank you.
Because you will share for all, right? Who has done the payment?
Yeah. I will share.
Okay, fine. We have done the. I mean, I have done the payment.
So guys, please. Yeah. So please make the payment right, and please do the practice and go through my document. If you have any query, if you don't understand the things, please come to me. I am there to help you.
Because when this course,
If anyone facing
started,
the issue to, sorry, come again.
When this course started, how long is the duration for?
I think this is the third. On Monday, the course was started. Monday was the demo class, and I think 3 days over. Tuesday, Wednesday, and today.
Okay.
Okay, so I
just
think you
joined
miss
today.
only 2 classes. You miss. If you want to continue, then you miss only 2 classes. That is. So if you want to cover, if you are interested, then I will share you the recording session of Tuesday and Wednesday. You can go through the recording session so that on Friday you are on the same page.
Okay, so it's Monday to Friday, 9:30
You have
to
not
10:30.
missed a lot of things. Only 1.5 hour classes you have missed. Okay, so guys, if you miss any of the class, you can go through the recording session. Okay, any other question?
Because
Sir.
I missed that point, key value that you was explaining. Could you please explain that again?
Leave it, sir. I will explain you in the API class. Okay, when I explain this thing in the here in the request, right, in the postman, the query param with key and value, then you are able to easily understand. And then I will also explain the UI section, right? Then it will be the clear picture. Okay.
And we will be using this Chrome tools also, like you were showing this.
No, it's up to you. Which either you can use the Postman app, either you can use the extension of the Postman, right, in the Chrome extension. So I would recommend try to use the Postman app. Do not use the web version or extension, right?
Okay.
Use the app.
Okay.
And
And like,
extension I saw because the way you told, and I went for that search also, but there also I'm not finding that tool there in the settings.
Okay, can you share your screen?
1 second.
Same for me as well, Vikash. I also tried in the extension, but it is not listing down.
Okay.
But
Please share
already
your
I
screen.
have installed the Windows version. I mean the app.
Then no problem. If you install, then use that one. But if you want to look at things, then let me say you can share your screen so that I can guide you. But use only one. Do not multiple. Either you can, but I will recommend to use application. Do not the extension. Okay, ma'am, you can share your screen. I will help you.
because like you will also be explaining the how to inspect by Chrome this any application for this API response request.
Come again,
Like,
sir.
like we were seeing in Make My Trip application, you were using Chrome to inspect and check the request response of API. So would you also be telling about that in
Yeah,
coming?
yeah, yeah. Like how you can inspect that thing when I explain that thing. If you want to understand that thing right now, then I will also explain you. Let's suppose this is your Make My Trip, right? So what this is your Make My Trip site, right? And let's suppose you are you are searching the request for Mumbai Delhi in the date of 22. You are clicking on the search. So right click on the mouse, click on the inspect, click on the inspect, right? And go to the network section, right? And click on the search, click on the search. So when I click on the search, these all are the call, they are connecting with your server, right? When your searching get completed, right, you can go and check what are the APIs they are using. Here you can see this is the API they are using. Here you can see the HTTP request and make my trip flight.com search, right, and the get result, right? So if you map this thing into your API, then what you can do, copy this thing. Let's suppose I'm mapping up to make my trip. When I'm so go and here and click on search, click on send. You can see that I'm also getting the response with 200. Okay, so when you see the response here, you can see the response here. The same response you will also get in your API. Okay,
Okay.
so like that, if you want to inspect the element, and like that you can inspect, right click, inspect, and whatever the action you want to do, you can do and check the call, what are the calls are there. Okay, so do not worry. I know you right now you are not able to understand this thing 100%, right? So when I explain this section, the Postman, the REST API in the Postman, and when you again do this thing, right, you can easily understand. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Any question, ma'am? I think someone is going to share your screen. I think the facing the Chrome issue, the extension issue. Are you going to share?
Because I have downloaded the app, Postman app, but when I'm clicking on workspace, it is asking create an account.
Could you please share your screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I shared for that extension one, I'm not sure. Are you able to see the screen?
It's loading actually. I think I can see the Postman app. Are
Yeah,
you open the
here
app?
the Chrome.
No, I am seeing the Postman app only. Is some another screen or your screen?
Okay, my screen only. 1
Okay, okay.
second. And here one more thing I wanted to know. So we'll just create the workspace here and we'll start working on, right? That you will let us know, right? How to create the workspace and then start from the scratch.
Yeah, yeah, that I will definitely know. Right now, what you can do, create a free account.
And we have
Click on the
collection of
create free
APIs.
account. Ma'am, I can't see your screen.
Okay, and I think it is shade. For me, it is showing shade.
Yeah,
Can
we
you
are
see?
able to see.
Ma'am,
Even I
I
The
can
think
able to
extension.
see
multiple
the
person
extension.
showing the, please one by one.
I have stopped sharing because you can go ahead with this one, then I'll share my screen.
Okay, I can right now. I'm see the Chrome browser.
Yes,
Whose screen is this?
1 second. So here that extension we were not able to add it here because so that one.
Okay, give me a second. Give me a second. Open the. Go to the setting. Go to the setting. Might be you are using some older version because might be, but not sure. Go to the extension. Click on the extension. Yes, and here you can type Postman. Okay, the click on the extension menu on the left hand side. Yeah, click on there. Open, yeah, here you can open Chrome Web Store at the bottom. In, yeah, open this one. Yeah, okay, now type here Postman. Yeah, go down. No, go up, go up. Postman instructor, click on the extension. Ma'am, could you please open the black window which I am seeing here on your screen?
Black.
Yeah, move this thing. Yeah, and postman interceptor. No. Tap postman test line. No. Go down. PJ registration postman. Okay, go to your Google Chrome. Go to your Google Chrome and type. Go to your Google Chrome and type Google Chrome new browser. Not in this window, in the new window, in the new window.
New window you're telling.
Yeah, new window. And a new tab. It's up to
New
you.
tab. Okay.
Yeah, new tab you can use. And type here Postman Chrome extension. Postman Chrome extension. Yeah. Hit. Click on the first link and try to open. Yeah, here you can see.
Add to Chrome.
Okay, add to Chrome. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
to add to Chrome, this will get added. Okay,
Okay. I will do it.
yeah. So you can see the rating of this tool. Okay, and the number of users they are using this tool.
Yes, here, right?
Yeah, any other person having any issue? Then let me know.
Yes, I will share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead, ma'am.
And because one more thing I wanted to know, client server architect, can you explain? And the different architect levels are there, so that one also, or is that covered in document or somewhere in your?
Client server architect means what you are trying to say?
How the architecture of the client and server is, and what are the different architecture in that client server?
Okay, yeah, I will give you the high level of that. Okay, don't worry.
Okay, in
Okay.
the class you will be explaining, right? Or
Yeah. In the class. I will
okay,
explain
okay,
you.
okay, fine. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, I have shared my screen.
Amita.
Okay, click on, you are using the free account. Click on create a free account. Yes, clicking on create a free account. The screen is not visual, ma'am. I can't see your screen.
Yes.
Guys who has not downloaded the Postman, please download.
So when I clicked on create a free account, it's giving me like this.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Could you please do the one thing? Close this thing. Where is your app is installed? Go to that particular position. Go there. First, close the this window, the Postman window.
You can see my screen.
For the doubt session, yeah, it's loading. Doubt session. If you have any query, then you can stay here. Otherwise, you can left the call and you can continue your work. It's loading, ma'am. It's black on my side.
I don't know. I'm not able to share my full screen. It's means
Okay,
it's
okay.
asking me to share window.
I think share a screen. We have desktop on the left hand side. Click on the desktop and start
Beside
sharing.
chat, no.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can see your screen.
Yeah. So this is the app, and this is the execute.
Again, it get blank. Again, it's blank.